Hey, good Tuesday evening to everyone. How are you? It's good to see you, and it's good to be seen by you. I, of course, am the one and only Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live, loud, and clear. And I hope you're having a good one. There go my settings again. Thank you for absolutely not a damn thing, StreamYard. That's moderately better. That's kind of no. That's no. We'll just go with that. Anyway, how are you folks? It's Tuesday night. Hello, hello. Um, Let me tell you a little bit about what we're going to do tonight. But first, welcome to all of the new subscribers. Welcome all of you. And if you have not joined that august body, let me please implore you, let me impose upon you just a little bit your goodwill, your good nature, and ask you to please click the subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications, so you can find out about all the wonderful things that we like to do around these parts, including our first edition AD&D live streams. But no, that's not all that we like to do that is good and fun, because folks, there's a convention coming up. It is convention season. Now, perhaps you're like me, poor, and getting out of the house and getting on an airplane or a Trailways bus or renting a car or hitchhiking is just not in your budget. Let me tell you that we've got one for you. For the person with no budget and a desire to play TTRPGs and board games, I would like to invite you formally and informally to the GUOGC, the great underground online gaming convention held right here at the Delver's Dungeon. When, you ask? Why, it's May 21st to May 25th. How, you ask? Well, go to Discord right here. We have a Discord where you can just go. You can be a player. You can be a game master. You can be both. We will have panelists. We will have board games. It's going to be a ton of fun. All you got to do is follow that little linky poo and get on the Discord. If you want to be a game master, reach out to me and let me know, and I'll turn that little key for you to put you in launch ready mode to run a game. And if you have any questions about it, I'm going to do my best to answer those on Friday evening, where we usually play Gamma World, but we'll be doing some other stuff. Yes, we have a video, Robert Phillips. So I hope you guys will join me for the GUOGC. The only thing that you have to pay for at the GUOGC is the merch. And we have awesome merch for the GUOGC. We have t-shirts and mugs and hats designed by Sky Hernstrom, who's going to be a panelist, by the way. I think we have Sky slotted in for Thursday for his panel. I'm finalizing the panels. I'll let you guys know. But Alyssa Hazel, Sky Hernstrom, Tracy Lesh, and Richard Witters, Matt Finch. We're going to be wall to wall with panels and gaming, and it costs you nothing. Michael Stronghold, good to see you. Michael Dale, hello to you. Orbital Air, Ion Farmer, hello to you too. I am critically key. You hope the computer key poking is going well, as you know. It is, but we're getting there. We're at Zeno's paradox, where it's like you go halfway across the bridge and then you go half that distance and half that distance and half that distance and half that distance. So it's like you're never getting there. That's where I'm at. Like, I've gotten through most of the halves. Basically, I have the program right now loads and saves everything. It displays characters properly. It saves to HTML. It saves to text. It is 100% first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons compliant. The major hiccup right now is I don't like how it looks. I need to clean up the UI. And if you level up to the point where a ranger or a paladin can cast spells and then you get level drained, it leaves the spell slots and the assigned spells on the character sheet. It doesn't delete those. So I've got to figure out how to do that without causing my whole worksheet view to crash. So I'm working on that, but it's coming out. It's going to be here soon. This time last week, I thought I was done. I was like, I'm done celebrating. But I know it's up and it's working now. So I'm excited about that, but I'm more excited about the GUOC, guys. Please, I would very much love it if you would come to the online gaming convention. Again, guys, you don't have to go anywhere. Just have have Kroger delivery, drop off a couple of bags of chips, walk up to your local pack store and grab a 6-pack, and you're set for a convention. Really, you are. So I hope that you will do that. I hope that you will attend the convention. Now, if you've just gotten here and you're wondering what it is I say, we're going to play AD&D tonight. Maybe you think, oh, like on Critical Role. We're going to play D&D. You guys are going to watch. That's where the similarities end. We're not playing Critical Role's RPG. We're not playing 5th edition D&D. We're playing 1st edition AD&D. But more to the point, maybe you've never played 1st edition AD&D. Maybe you have, and it's been a long time. And in either case, you want to get back into it. Or maybe you're just curious about it. Maybe you're like, maybe I want to play this. Maybe I don't. This is your night to shine. If you have questions, I want you to ask them over in the live chat. I think it's over there. Anyway, I want you to ask over in the live chat over there. And I will do my best to answer your question. If I can answer it quickly without disrupting the game too terribly much. We'll interact with you. Sometimes the other guys in the game will answer the question, which is really neat, because they're really sharp people, and I'm really glad that I have them at my table. It makes me happy because they're nice people. But yeah, we're not like oh well, you're out there watching and we're up here doing. Oh, Gonzalo buying advertising in the live stream. Look at that. Thank you for the super. You guys don't have to do that, by the way. Gonzalo's just exceptionally nice. And thank you. I've got my guitar case open next to me in the subway. Oh, Guacchio, come on and play at the GUOC. Oh, thank you, sir. Play at the GUOC. But anyway, so something else you should be aware of. We play D&D. The game that we're going to be playing tonight, as it unfolds, is how the game is going. We haven't done table reads. We haven't done script writing sessions. I haven't told people what their character story arc is going to be, nor have they handed me a heavy backstory and said, this is going to be, I want this, and this. We're playing AD&D. We could be rolling up new characters, and now that I got this fancy new character software working, I can mostly automate it for my players. And no, Tim, that's not why I built it. I didn't build it so I could more efficiently slaughter the lot of you. But it could happen. Character deaths can happen. TPKs can happen. They can absolutely happen. So I just want you to be aware. Now I have babbled. Finn Fish, welcome back, man. Finn, good to see you again, brother. I hope you're doing all right, man. Thanks for stopping back by. Old school Dungeon Delver fan there. All right. So now I've talked about how awesome these guys are, and thank you again very much for the super. I do appreciate that. I've talked about how awesome these guys are. Why don't I introduce them? Why don't I introduce this gang of 4 currently? Could become a gang of 5. Could become the Sinister 6 someday. You just don't know. My headphones are all snarled up. Dear Santa, I need 50-foot long AV cables for my studio setting. But I got to put these on so I can hear them. So everybody, I want you to put your hands together and give a big Delver's Dungeon welcome to the first guy stepping up here. You can find him right here on YouTube. He's at Timothy M. Holt. His channel is awesome. TTRPGs, physics, history, literature, Nobel Prize stuff, which goes under all of those. Except, I don't know, Tim, you'll have to tell us one day if you know a Nobel Prize winner who also plays tabletop role-playing games. But everybody, please welcome Tim M. Holt.
I actually know 11 Nobel laureates, and 2 of them do play RPGs. But I want to remind everybody that Tuesday night is Ladies' Night here on Dungeon Delver, so invite ladies to come watch.
There you go. Absolutely. Next up is a guy who's so cool. He doesn't need a YouTube channel. He's like Guitar George from Sultans of Swing, except his name's not George. Everybody, please welcome Kevin as Don Drexel.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin. Good to see you, man. Next up, we have a fellow who's returning from a rest and relaxation period. He also has a YouTube channel. You can find him at D&Disability. Great history stuff, great D&D stuff, TTRPG stuff. Everybody, please welcome Thane Kyle as Holder.
Hello, I have some Braille dice, a video on that coming out soon, as well as more history content. But I do have a question for the table once everybody's in.
All right. We'll put that to the table. And last but not least, the guy who arguably, and I say this is no slight to my other players, current, past, or potentially future, the most metal voice at the table to date, shy of the ghost of Lemmy coming back to play with us. He also has a YouTube channel. You can find him at Doomswords here, and he's working on some kick-ass projects that he's got over on itch.io, which if you go to his YouTube channel, this is the American Sign Language for go to somebody's YouTube channel, I think. You will find links to those. Everybody, please welcome Doomsword Deathmaster as Durek the Human Paladin.
Yo,
how are you, sir? All right, gentlemen, my aircraft, but I'm going to hand the talking stick over to Thane Kyle. What is your question, sir?
So normally for GUOC, I run Morkborg, and like 2 people are interested. So this year, I'm going to cast the net out to you guys. Should I attempt to run Morkborg again, or should I run Basic Fantasy instead? You guys choose.
Ooh, is that also directed at me?
It is a group vote. I believe firmly in democracy, unlike our current republic.
You know what? My first thing is to say, run what brings you the most joy. However, there is no shame in mixing things up a little bit and going with, say, get out of your comfort zone a little bit. Maybe do some basic fantasy. So I'm going to lean in to go with basic fantasy.
Yeah, I've run basic for years, but I haven't run it at GUOC yet. So
okay,
yeah. You name it, I've pretty much run it at this point.
Right on.
Have you ever heard of Advanced Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah, and I typically won't run it unless you put a proverbial gun to my proverbial forehead.
How about
Proverbially, of course.
How about Toon by Steve Jackson Games?
Oh, that RPG is fun. It's on my want to run list along with Paranoia. I haven't gotten there yet. One of my players actually asked me to like 2 weeks ago.
Well, there you go. Tim, you're gonna come to the GUOC and run some Toon, right?
I can. I have it.
I would absolutely love it. I would be there for it.
How would one run Clayarama from GUOC?
I'll have to get back to you on that. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Kevin, do you have an opinion for Thane Kyle?
I did. It was AD&D, but seriously, yeah. I mean, if you're DMing, pick the game you love. So, and that helps spread what you love, right? So, whatever one works best.
Yeah. Orbital Air said, yeah, I tried to run that, but it just kind of went helter skelter. Anyway, moving right along. Gentlemen, last week you had finally done it. You had made your way through the labyrinthine corridors of the upper portion of the stockade, wherein you have fought the slavers and their humanoid minions, dispensing with a vile and iron-skinned Annis and her cohorts. You've hacked your way through to the lower levels, but all has not gone easier. Indeed, it has gotten more insidious and tricksy, because as you explored down a long corridor, just as you reached a turn to the left, Durek was pulled and stuck fast to the wall. Not some kind of adhesive like honey or sovereign glue. No, this held him by some force unseen. And as you pondered how to deal with this most strange trap, hell itself was unleashed on you as a group of goblins turned to confront you. Not, mind you, that Elminar didn't have a little bit of hell himself, or perhaps the power of the heavens, as he lashed out with a lightning bolt and disposed of them, turning your attentions back to freeing Durek. You were no sooner done with that task than you were set upon by giant rats, leaving your comrade to hang out for a bit, if you will. You dealt with the rats easily and find yourself taking a moment to take a deep breath and consider your next move. Now, as to where you guys are currently located, I just happen to have the thing. So here we go. Durek is stuck fast to the wall here. The party arrayed along the length of the hallway here. We have Holder, we have Paul, we have Elminar, and of course we have, I can't get the Don Drexel next to Elminar there. So, gentlemen, what are your intentions?
Well, we either need to find the switch that turns off the crazy thing in the wall, or we need a can opener to get the paladin out of the armor.
Well, we could probably cut his straps, but it's going to make his armor absolutely useless without repair. Since I have this tendency to be able to find traps, maybe I'll search the local area surrounding.
Brilliant!
Yeah, since my weapon's already stuck to the wall, I guess I don't have to worry about that.
Yes.
I do happen, if this happens to fail, I would like to remind the party that I do have a rod of cancellation if need be. I also, has anybody tried detecting magic to see where this is coming from?
We haven't done anything.
Okay.
Other than fight jerks.
We stabbed a bunch of rats, and we kind of let them hang out for a little while. But
okay. Mood. Do we think that would be helpful? I think Durek wears magic armor, so I'm really hesitant to get the rod of cancellation anywhere near it. But, if we can't, worst comes to worst, I do have a, nuke it from orbit option.
Oh, it
I
might
like
be best to
nuke it
check
from
if it's
orbit.
magic first, right? Because I'm not convinced.
It's secretly super glue?
It's imagination. Magnetism. The Insane Cloud Posse would hate this dungeon.
Magnetism is magic. Who are you kidding?
I'm not part of the Insane Clown Posse. So it's science as far as I'm concerned.
Science! She
Exactly.
blinded me with science.
One of the best songs in the 1980s.
Absolutely.
Next to weird science, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Kelly
Oingo
LeBron.
Boingo is hard to beat.
Yeah, but I can't do his voice at all, so I can't. I'm not even going to try.
I like Sound as a Vibe is probably my favorite science song. It's from a Bill Nye episode.
Oh no!
Very
See,
good.
automatic rejection just because of Bill Nye, but
Me too.
it.
Now, let's not.
Speaking of Oingo Boingo, I tried to convince my kids one day that the first song played at my funeral should be "Dead Man's Party," and they told me I wasn't funny. Not sure
It wasn't a
joke.
joke, people.
That's what I keep telling them, is that it's not a joke.
I'll take.
Anyway,
going
back
up
to
in fire.
Dungeons and Dragons now. Let's get back to our
All right.
game. Sorry, folks, I took us off the track there. We need to find a trap. Do your thing.
I'm gonna spend some time searching for traps in that area.
Alrighty, let's see if the good die roller is working tonight.
Maybe we could unbuckle while I'm searching. You guys can unbuckle Durek from the wall, or maybe it's just possible for us to with brute force drag him down the wall until he's no longer in the field. Kind of like what you have to do when you get a neodymium magnet and accidentally stick it to your fridge.
You guys are welcome to try anything. And Kevin, so you don't discover a trigger mechanism, but you are able to tell, yes, this is very much some kind of mechanical trap, not magical. It is actuated somewhere nearby. You're not entirely sure where.
Okay. Well, I think we should let's just get some brute force power and see if we can drag Durek down the wall and away from this the center of the force.
Okay.
And in fact, what do I have? I'll take my cloak off and I'll try to slide it between him and the wall if possible, just to make it less trouble.
Yeah, he is not. He is that is not happening. He is stuck fast. You can't push it down between him and the wall.
All right, worth to try. So let's latch onto him and pull, even if we have to use a rope or a couple ropes.
Anybody got the pry bar?
We have a crowbar.
That's the same thing.
Okay. I have a wonder bar too.
Okay.
That's in the Gemworld game.
As you approach with the pry bar, it flies out of your hands and slams against the wall with a resounding clang. It is now stuck.
We can always shoot a lightning bolt into that wall and see if it disables it.
I mean, true, right? I mean, maybe. Anybody got a disintegrate laying around, wizard?
No,
do not.
Not quite high enough level yet.
I could come back tomorrow and douse him with water, and maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I think what we should do is we just should grab onto him and try really hard to pull him away from the place.
Let's do that. Let's pull really hard.
Ooh.
How many people can we get attached to this, Bill, or do we have to rope?
Question for the DM as well.
Yes.
Does a potion of diminution shrink their items?
That is a fine question. I believe diminution does, in fact, shrink items, but you know what? Let's look it up in the Dungeon Master's Guide.
We could quite literally turn Durek into the size of a fridge magnet.
Yes, and then pull him with us, and then that makes sense.
When this
potion, does it mind being tiny for a brief period of time?
Well, it's much better than being stuck.
When this potion is quaffed, the individual and all he or she carries and wears will diminish in size to as small as 5% of normal size. If half are swallowed, the person shrinks to 50% of normal size. It lasts for 6 turns plus 2 to 5 turns.
What do you think, Dirk? Do you want to be a halfling for a little bit?
It's going to be smaller than a halfling.
Well, no, he only should drink half. Don't drink the whole thing. Just drink half.
No, I want to put him in my pocket.
Well, no, I want to save the other half for the thief. Oh, sorry, Dirk, go ahead.
I was just saying I have no choice in the matter. I'm stuck to the wall.
I mean, you can still talk, I think.
Yeah,
Can't
it's
you?
not like no, you're not like it didn't like clamp down on your bridge work or anything like that. You can actually
Yeah,
speak.
but I assume my plate mail is tight enough, and the additional forces from being attached to the wall. I mean, I suppose it's a character thing, but I assume that's enough of a stress that I don't feel like it's appropriate to talk, especially out of character.
Okay. All right. Well, Durek is silent on the matter, unless you're not, Dooms.
Yeah. If you were wearing
No,
chain,
I am.
that'd be awful.
It's
That's fair.
Well, we lost him. Hopefully he'll be back.
Well, I say for
Anybody-
now, let's try and pull, and then if we can't, then potion.
Good idea. Let's do that. How
Um,
many people can we get on him to try to push and pull?
well, short of Paul getting out of his mail, it's going to be yourself and Elminar, unless Holder wants to get slammed against the wall too.
I can stand back. Well, there's no guarantee that, like, the way I see it is we probably, we should all take off our war gear in that sense, because there's like, even if I walk past there, there's no guarantee I don't just get stuck there.
Well, you
Mhm.
will absolutely get stuck. So,
Yeah.
we have to go around this corner, or we're going back upstairs. Literally,
Well,
there's
then-
nowhere else to go.
There's
So-
got to be some mechanism that undoes this. So
Yeah, I'm sure it's in the future. It's not behind us.
So I'm wearing robes and whatnot, right? So theoretically,
What's your strength, though?
12.
All right, so we got a total of 25, barely more than Dirk by himself. Between me
But
and
I'm
you.
saying I could go around the corner and see if I could find whatever it is that tripped this. And I do still have some pretty hefty spells left today, so I could become, the Nuke It Man and not care if you guys are in the way.
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather not split up, but if you think that's
right, Bill.
let's just see if I mean, honestly, Paul Holder, you're going to have to remove your armor anyway until we
Yeah.
get around this.
I
Right,
may as
yeah.
well. I may as well start.
Like put it in a sack or a blanket or cloak or whatever, tie it up, and that way we could drag it. You know what I mean?
Pretty much. Yeah. No, I
Instead of
agree.
it getting stuck to the wall by itself.
So Cam 2, which was working absolutely flawlessly, literally, as I hit the live button, I was testing it, is now not working. So I'm going to have to reposition Cam 1 to give you guys a slightly better view of the hall. But before I do that, Tim, you are walking around the corner, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We're gonna do the most moronic thing ever and slightly split the party.
Well,
Magic users, the rest of the party.
your dagger in its scabbard, like it points straight at the whatever is on the other side of the stone wall as you move past it. Let me go ahead and get Mr. Camera in the right place. One moment, please, guys.
My dagger got excited about everything.
Yeah, it's kind of
It's
got
that-
a pointed existence right now.
It's that scene in Robin Hood Men in Tights, right? Where he's behind the curtain and the light's behind him and he's singing.
Exactly. I was gonna go with History of the World part whatever when she's like, let's find out which one's a eunuch.
I think my favorite part of History of the World Part 2 is when Moses shows up right at the very end and there's a guy behind him with a knife to his ribs and he's frisking him.
My personal favorite was actually where they smoked the giant blunt to slow down the guys behind them and kind of all got stoned together.
Yeah. That happens like right before that scene. That's great.
I mean, how else do you get away from the Romans? You just smoke a giant.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, I can think of, it depends on when you're talking in the Rome during the Roman period, because they have this love-hate thing with crazy, wild adult parties, if you catch my meaning. So you could like turn and point and they'd go for it. Either to love it or hate it.
There we go.
If
So,
Shakespeare's to be believed, we could just point and be like, "There's Pompey."
My favorite part related to that series or that movie and the new series he released is people said, "You sold out." And he says, "You're damn right I did."
Right.
And I love that because it's true, right?
Yeah.
I don't care if he sold out. It's his stuff. Let him do what the hell he wants with it.
I think I think he kind of admitted he was sold out years and years ago, but we don't care because it's Mel Brooks and we love him.
Right?
Yeah.
Can't sell
hold him
out
down.
if,
It's like merchandising where the real money from the movie is made.
Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids love this one. Okay, Tim. Looking down the hall, you do not immediately see a mechanism. You do see a door on the right-hand side, about midpoint down the hall there. But as far as any levers or anything like that, no, you do not see anything. TB, good to see you.
That door looks like it leads to something that's got that mechanism behind it. So I think I got to go open that door. I mean, it's been a while since you killed one of my characters. I'd hate to see this one die, but you only live once.
The night is young.
Do you have a
Tim.
fireball prep?
Lightning bolt.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. Because worst comes to worst, you open the door and there's like 80 goblins in there, and you're just like,
They don't call him the best Foley man on the internet for nothing, folks.
That's right.
All right.
I don't care what size the room is. I said fireball.
Nice cast fireball. That's right. Okay. So, Tim, you're going down to open the door. Holder, I'm sorry. I apologize for this thing, Kyle. Did you say Holder was removing his armor currently?
I fail to see I have much choice in the matter.
Okay, that's fine.
They tell me to strip, so I strip. I start, humming a body tune and.
All right. And how about Don Drexel?
I'm going to stay close to Durek and protect him should other, let's say, unsavory characters show up.
Okay. Paul is going to hold the current position you see him at. He is right here. That is close enough. That is close enough to the lodestone, or far enough from the lodestone that he knows he won't get slammed against it, and close enough still to defend if something comes rushing down the hall. So that's what you guys are doing. Nothing comes investigating while you're getting out of your armor, which I think, Kyle, let's tap your historical knowledge here. About how long would it take someone to shuck a suit of mail?
Scale mail, schemata, not long. Mostly it's a belt around your waist, much as the same way as wearing a mail hauberk. Okay. You just slide it on, slide it off. Now, if I'm wearing breeks and mail gloves, the gloves come off easier. The breeks are just a couple of ties, quite literally.
Okay.
Give it, if you're talking 1 minute rounds, which we are, a minute if I'm pressed, 2 if I'm being casual about it, 3 if I'm being sexy.
All right, so
let's go.
If I had help, a minute, easy. Yeah. So if I had help, a minute, easy.
A couple of rounds. Gotcha. Okay, so that's what you're doing. Tim, you advance down the hall to open the door. Go ahead and give me a door open check. That's going to be a D6.
Big money, no whammies. 4.
4 with your strength of 12 does not budget, but you can try again. It's not like it's forever shut.
Try again. 3.
It's getting better. You're you got your foot up
1.
There you go. All right. It takes a few good hard yanks, and you pull on it. Nothing comes looking for you while you while you wrench it open, and I will show you guys exactly what you see as you open that door.
Fun fact, while Bill is showing you this, I have experience getting in and out of armor. I've worn mail as well as I fence in a brigandine, or like gambeson. And getting in and out of my gambeson, it's kind of built like a tube sock. It doesn't have ties or toggles or a zipper or anything. You just slide it in and off over your head.
And you belt
And
it down.
I always get stuck. Well, this one I don't have to belt down because it's literally like a tube with sleeves and a head hole.
Nice.
And I always get stuck about halfway getting it off, so I kind of look like one of those big windsock things that go flapping around in like the front of a parking lot. And I always have to have somebody grab me by the wrists and like pull, because it's actually really claustrophobic and like disorienting. Believe it or not, it's like being an owl and having a bag over your head.
Or like taking your shirt off when you're seat belted in a car, right?
Worse, but yes, it's like taking off the world's largest turtleneck.
Well, see, that's where you'd go wrong. I'd never wear a turtleneck to find out.
Yeah,
Nor would I.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Never mind.
Okay, so Elminar, you are in that chamber just along the top edge, for our viewers' sake. It's not a great camera stand. I apologize for that. This is the room that Elminar is currently located in. You almost immediately note that there is a badly concealed door on your, let's see, on your right, in the right corner of the room, which would be the eastern wall. So you have gotten you've gotten out of your armor holder. Now you're just in your woolen hauberk. Don Drexel and Paul are holding the hall. So let's just start at the top of the rotation, if we will. Tim, Elminar is in this room. Let me describe it for you in some detail, if I may. The door opens into a small room. The air is cool and damp, and it seems totally deserted. There's a wooden table in the center of the room, 3 benches, 2 wood stools, and a couple of cots. Let's see.
And a badly
On
concealed
the
door.
table are the remains of a dinner of horse meat, and there is a mug filled to the brim sitting on the table.
So the badly concealed door is on the right or the left?
It's on your right. It's on the eastern wall.
Oh, I got to open that door, man.
Okay. Go. Well, you know what? It is a curtain that has been covered with sand to look like stone. Like, dark paint was thrown there and then it was rolled in sand.
It's a kindergarten project.
Yeah, exactly. It's a sage project.
It's a frat house project, man.
Behind it, you see there's a windlass mounted in the wall. A length of chain goes up into the ceiling, attached to the windlass. You should have seen the upper part of the layer that we did for over a year, Ion Farmer. Actually, I put that thing up last summer. Close to a year.
So that's all that's in the room. So if I throw the switch, the chain does something. Probably
it's turning a windlass, but yes.
Yeah, okay. So there's nothing else in the room that could be useful.
Unless you want a mug of beer or some horse meat, that's
All right. Well, then I'll go head back to the party and be like, I got nothing. I didn't even get to kill anything. Sadly.
So what did you find in there?
Horse meat and beer.
There was no mechanical anything in there?
It was just a giant chain going into the ceiling. I mean, we're happy to try to move that, but
Well, maybe that does something with this
all
thing.
right, well, let's go move it, Bill. I'll move. I'll see what I can do.
okay.
I can head up with you, I suppose.
Okay, it is greased. It is in fairly good repair. It turns in both directions, but it looks like it has mostly gone counterclockwise, almost as far as you can turn it. So
let's go clockwise.
You're turning it clockwise. There is a faint grinding. It's less of a grinding sound and more of a grinding sensation in the wheel as you turn it. Doomsword out in the hall. Durek very clearly hears a sharp grinding sound from directly in front of you. And after a few seconds of that, whatever unseen force had pulled you to the wall releases. You are now able to move.
Yay.
All right, yeah, I'll regain my composure and and step back like 5-10 feet so that it doesn't happen again.
Okay, and Don Drexel's scimitar does clatter the floor also.
Yeah, I'll grab it and the crowbar.
Okay, yes, the pry bar as well.
And put your clothes back on.
I turn it counterclockwise again. No.
By the light of Fultus, what took you so long?
Clank.
If I did not know better, I would have thought that it was purposeful.
It was funny.
While they talk, I'm going to put my gear back on. Once again, it really wouldn't take more than a minute.
Sure. And it's interesting. This is something you and I can discuss definitely offline on Discord or something like that. But I've watched internet videos of people suiting up in armor, and it is taken them much longer than that. I don't know if they were going slow just to show for the camera, and I tried to base how it would be in D&D on how long it. So I was like, okay, well, it took him 7 minutes to get that suit of plate on, so I presume it would take almost a full turn to put plate on.
Quick 30-second spiel on that.
Okay.
Did they have help? Yes or no?
One guy had help. Another guy very purposely said, this is what it would be like trying to put plate mail on without help.
You would never put plate mail on without help. Number one, period, end of story.
There's buckles behind your back.
You had anywhere from 2 to 3 servants minimum if you're in a position to own plate. Period.
Okay.
When it comes to mail, on the other hand, anything mail-based, scale or otherwise, it is simply a big, heavy metal shirt, pants, etc. So imagine how long it would take you to pull on a coat, as an example, or a pair of pants.
Well, anybody that's taken her off or on plate mail or chainmail has found out that hair plus chainmail equals true pain.
Oh yeah. Oh, very, 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 very much so. But that's also why you wear a skull cap, an arming cap, etc., before you put on your coif. Right.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you for the clarification. I can be a little less harsh about the players who say, "Of course, I don't sleep in my armor." A turn later, you've gotten your armored boots on. The goblins are attacking. Now I can be a little bit more equanimical about the whole thing. All right. So, again, other than the remains of the meal on the table, the windlass, which obviously controls a stone, which is in front of the lodestone out in the hall, nothing really of interest out there.
Then I think we have to continue down the hall with the paladin first.
No,
I'm going to start
our scout first. Our scout first always. And
unless
you see something different within this place, then we must leave. We must forge further into the heart of evil.
Took a shot.
Alrighty.
Actually, sorry, DM, I'm not going to start praying. Wrong word there. I'm going to start chanting.
Chanting. Okay. All right. Just one moment. Let me show you guys the next section of the map.
But yeah, mail, not that bad. Plate, completely different story.
Well, again, though, what about plate mail?
Well, that's why I said plate can take minutes. Typically, you wouldn't rush to put on plate And like in a historical context, you really wouldn't be rushing. I mean, you could buckle on a breastplate and backplate pretty quickly. That's a couple of buckles, and that's it. So if you already have on your undergarments, that's not a problem. Sliding in gloves, any kind of metal gauntlets, that takes no time. It's like putting on a pair of hockey gloves, right?
Sure.
Helmet, same. But like my Spetsnaz gloves, as an example, that I spar in. It's less than 5 seconds to get them on and off. Like it's, and they have buckles. It's like, so that's not niche. They're Spetsnaz are clamshell for those playing at home. So they're full hard contact clamshell gloves. You have to use your teeth to work the buckles. But
So is there a difference between putting them on in terms of time? Like say something like number of segments as an equivalent versus
sure.
taking
So
them off, because taking them
to
off, you would have to use your teeth, correct?
you'd have to use your teeth in both instances to just pull the little strap, right? You could absolutely slide your hands into them and not have them strapped, and they will stay on your hands. That's not an issue. So like if you're in a rush, you can just shove your hand in and it's good. But it's better to have it tight. Segments.
Would you perhaps get a hit penalty or something like that if you didn't?
I wouldn't go that far, but I would say if you say rolled a 1 in that instance, you could very easily like lose your glove. That could be very fun. Like that kind of thing. I wouldn't because it doesn't really interfere with it to hit penalty. What it interferes with is it makes your wrist. The only thing the strap really would do, it would open the inside of your wrist open, so about a 2-inch square area, to like as a thrusting target for your opponent, and like that would be it. So that's how small of a difference it makes. It's not big. Now in like a rapier duel or something, that's different. But
okay, so there's a few different phenomena happening as you look down the hall. There we go. This figure here, if my pointing stick will reach over yonder, but you do see a figure, a ghostly white figure, hanging, floating, hovering in the hall there in front of you. On the right-hand side of the hall, you notice 2 doors, but it is the figure floating in midair in front of you that is most arresting, that you see as you all round the corner. What do you wish to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna yell cleric and get the hell back into the corner.
Durek, do you sense any undead here? Because you've been fooled by this area before. There was a room with a big false bear and stuff like that. So
Typically, I just charge it.
But he's floating. He's floating.
yeah,
Now maybe
but
there's a rope or a string or something,
It-
but
Yeah, it could be a joke or it could be an undead. In either case, I charge that thing.
Okay, so you're charging with a capital C.
It's not my
Paul
turn yet,
is moving in this round. He is not charging. Kevin, what is Don Drexel doing? You jumped back and you yelled
Oh,
for
yeah.
the cleric.
I'm going. That's not a joke. I meant that.
No,
I'm going
that's-
back to the
that's fine.
corner, saying, undead ghost, yes, white wyvern, something over there. And
Undead ghosts are the worst.
the live ghosts are really terrible too, but not nearly as bad.
Let's say, are there any non-undead ghosts, like beyond children with like bed sheets?
Well, I could tell you that I'm pretty much invisible, even though I'm not a ghost, and it's not because I'm trying. So.
I remember when I was a kid back in the 80s playing when we got free day to use the computers in a programming class. There was a text adventure on one of the games discs called Spook House, and you could slay a ghost with a silver knife, and when you would go back in the room and type look, it would say all you see in this room is the body of a dead ghost.
The body of a dead ghost.
The body.
And
Okay.
that was right before. That was around the same time you died of dysentery over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's same time frame. All right. So Durek is charging. Paul is moving up with a A battle cry of not in the face, not in the face. Don Drexel is falling back. Holder, you have just begun to chant. Tim, what is Elminar doing?
I'm going to hang back and watch for a minute. Let them sort this one out.
Okay. So Durek, you will go outside of initiative. Initiative being determined by which weapon strikes first. In this case, it's yours because this thing only has hands. However, we should roll other initiatives. So we'll start at the top of the order. And well, Kevin, you're in the apple barrel tonight. Roll a d6 for the side, would
All
you?
right. Yep, I apologize up front. And appropriately apologized. I got a 1.
Well, it's best to get it out of your system now. All right.
You
I
notice
mean,
he
hey,
says
it's
that every week.
it's entirely possible. I only rolled a 2. It's not like I did gangbusters. Okay. So let me move your miniature real quick, Dooms, to indicate where you're at.
Remember, the key word in diplomacy in this game is lightning bolt.
And I apologize. I didn't realize I had not shifted back to studio cam or to studio cam instead of table cam, and you all got to look at my fat sausage fingers. So as you charge it, Durek, and you lay sword to it, go ahead and give me an attack roll.
If it makes you feel any better, DM, I didn't see anything.
That is absolutely a decisive blow. You strike it, you knock it to the floor. The fully cocooned and webbed body husk lands at your feet. I need to look here.
So it looks like we have a web-wrapped mummy.
That could be.
Which means there's spiders somewhere.
There's a spooder.
Let's see.
I don't know if this is better than the ghost.
Okay.
I would, yeah, that's fair.
This is first edition.
So,
You're not wrong.
Dooms and Paul, you guys have a there is a thick, sticky webbing that falls on you from the ceiling, and in front of you, Durek, and directly behind Paul, in full view of the rest of the party, are 2 giant spiders. And if you're an arachnophobe, Tim, I know you're not, but anyone out there watching, if you're an arachnophobe, you might just want to go with audio for the next little bit. I'm going to set miniatures out.
We could have gotten him a real tarantula. I mean, they're cute.
Is anybody here familiar with the spider kittens from Basic Fantasy?
No.
No, but I have a tarantula named Blueberry in my living room.
Oh, that's cute. They're really fun. They're exactly what you think they are. They're a spider with the head of a kitten. And they look really, 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 really cute, which is kind of the idea until you see their 8 legs, and then you realize they're venomous. It's just
My tarantula is part blue, part green, part brown. And
almost
she's
the
really
color of a
pretty.
blueberry. The color of a blueberry.
The blue is kind of blueberry. And she's really not dangerous unless you're a cricket, and then she'll eat your head first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the way most spiders are, really. I mean, they're not like inherently hostile or anything.
Okay.
I reached in to pet her in the cage one day, and she looked at me like I was stupid.
Except for brown recluses, which hate your guts more than
And want you
wasps
to die.
do.
Yes.
That's true. That's true. Well, I said most spiders. Most
Black
spiders.
widows are the same way. They also hate your guts.
I got
And
a brown
it-
recluse bite that will get me taken off of YouTube if I go into the description of how horrible it was.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Any Australian spider, just avoid it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So giant spider in front, giant spider behind. You guys are enmeshed in a web. It is very difficult for you to fight. It is not as the spell web. It is just, it's laying on top of you. It's just really hard to move around. So again, you were surprised by them, but they only got the single segment of surprise to drop the web on you, not to make any additional attacks. Let's start at the top of the rotation for an actual combat round. Kevin, what is Don Drexel doing as he witnesses this?
Well, they're not in melee yet, right?
The spiders are going to be able to melee them, and they can in turn.
Okay, and they're first, right? They're first. So, yeah, I'll approach the spiders and attack with my scimitar.
Okay. Well, I mean, you don't. We're getting declarations for any round.
No,
of
I know.
initiative.
That's what I'm going to do. That's
Okay.
what my plan is. I get we didn't get initiative.
Okay.
So,
All right. That's cool.
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. And let's see. Thane Kyle, how about Holder?
I'm chanting.
Oh, you're chanting. That's right. So Durek, you can still fight. It's just difficult to do so.
Sure, I'll do that.
All right. And Paul is yelling something about he doesn't have a boot big enough for this, but he'll deal with it just the same. Tim, how about Elminar? What is Elminar doing?
Well, I'm going to point out to the party that I really have your best interest at heart, because I really want to use lightning bolt, but I won't, because I'm quite sure I'll hit somebody. So
you
I'm
would
gonna
unquestionably hit somebody. There's no might
Some
about it.
bodies.
But magic missile can't missile.
That's what I was going to say. I'm going to magic missile whatever one is closest with as many magic missiles as I
Okay.
can hit it with.
One did drop basically behind Paul, and he's kind of struggling to turn around and face it. So that's the one you're going to magic missile. And I think as initiative options go, we are now around to you, TK. Please roll a d6.
Are those little like beige seashell looking things supposed to be spiders, by the by, on the little white disc?
That is, yes, that is some
okay.
spiders.
They're
I
cute.
have two beautiful hand painted Reaper giant spiders, but I could only find one of the miniatures, so I grabbed some resin printed ones that I had used. These are actually from one of the earlier adventures that you guys were in with different parties members when you were in the city of Greyhawk, literal years ago. Okay, party goes first. Let's start with Don Drexel, you're moving in this round, so
Yeah, I'm moving up to attack. Yep.
okay. Dooms, go ahead. You are at
and,
you are at a negative to hit because of the webbing, but go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, so I don't need to know that negative. I'll just make the normal roll and you'll apply it.
Yes. However,
so-
that is sufficient to hit. This is a large creature.
Booyah.
And there's no penalty to your damage. 3, 4. Okay. Yeah, you give it a nice little slice there, hack off one of its claws. It doesn't like that. Paul likewise is going to lash out at his. He misses entirely. And Tim, a spray of magic missiles at the one directly to the north there.
7.
7 plus 3 is 10.
10.
All right, so you blast one of the giant spiders. It stands up on its back legs, Let's see. Kevin Don Drexel has moved. So this attack is on Durek. However, guess what? You all know because you've encountered them before. Giant spiders are evil. And as such, they are at a minus to hit you.
Evil.
16. Let's see. That's
It's funny. I never really consider spiders as evil, but yeah.
most of them are not. Most of them just are what they are. In fact, there's an intelligent breed of spider in AD&D that is just neutral. But these are not. These are straight out of the Lord of the Rings. The
Mirkwood.
Yes, offspring of Ungoliant or Shelob.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to take a call. I'll be back in like 10 minutes. I hate to do this.
Oh, sure, I understand.
He rushes in and attacks the spiders by hand.
Yep. Brave Brave Elminar in with his dagger.
I have lots of magic missile so somebody can roll for me. So
yeah. All right, we got it.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
like he rolls like what 4d4 now, I think.
Yes, actually, it should be 4d4.
Three?
Is it still 3?
Yeah, that's what he rolled last round, right?
Oh, okay. I'll go ahead and I'll roll it. I'm not doing anything else.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just pulling up the combat tables. I just want to make your armor class is 2, correct, Dooms, or is it 1? Or is it 0?
It's 0 unless
it's 0.
Unless
okay.
Being on me is causing a defensive adjustment as well.
All right, so the web being on you, but your protection from evil actually evens out, and with that, he does not hit you, barely. Like you just kind of pull your shield around, and its fangs click off the metal. But how does Paul fare? He's fine. Paul and the spider hit each other with about the same degree of effectiveness. Kevin, in the new round, Don Drexel is now up next to Paul, fighting the one that's fighting it. You hear Elminar begin to invoke yet another spell of magic missiles. And finally, the chanting of Holder rises to a crescendo of righteous protection. Let's go ahead. I'm assuming that we're all second verse, same as the first. Melee, magic missile, melee, all that jazz.
Yes, sir.
Sure. Did he roll his magic missile?
Not yet.
For last
We haven't
one?
rolled initiative yet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
okay.
magic missile in last. So okay, so let's go ahead and roll initiative. And I think it would have been. Oh, I know it is your turn there, Dooms. Give us a D6, please. A 5, most difficult for me to overcome, and yet, okay.
Oh, damn it.
That absolutely misses Durek, and absolutely misses Durek.
Hey, 15 misses. Good for you.
That is a flat 15, and that will miss Paul. So counter attacks. Doom Sword, do your thing, Sword. $11, $12. Yes, you're fighting. You are paladin.
Okay, I am back, by the way.
It would normally hit AC 4.
You didn't miss anything. You're good. Oh, I'm chanting. That's it. That's my chant has finally gone off.
Yes. Okay. Dooms. Let's see. That's AC 4. But then you get, because of the sword, that just connects. So large creature. All right, 2 becomes 3. Death by 1,000 cuts. Paul hauls off and brains his. And he does a total of, well, he's got the sword. He does a lot of damage. It absolutely doesn't like that. Tim, unleash your magic missiles, please.
5 plus 3 is 8.
All right, yeah, the one to the south is not looking good. You've blown some holes in it. Kevin, go ahead and swing, bata swing.
All right. 20.
That is a telling blow,
All right. Plus 2 on damage.
and it is large. Oh, it's the same.
It's the scimitar, so it doesn't matter. 4 points.
4.
So that's the same one I assume that Paul and Elminar is attacking?
Yes, and it has been destroyed now. There is only one giant spider fighting your stalwart leader there to the north. Let's get declarations. Let's start off with well, I guess Don Drexel, are you moving up to the north in this round?
No, I'm going to magic missile just because I can guarantee a hit.
Okay, fair enough. Is still trying to wrench his way free of the webs. Paul will move up and try and stand shoulder to shoulder with with Durek. Too many letter D's in the party. So he is moving in this round. Magic missile. Tim, are you magic missiling again?
Absolutely. I have 2 left. So
all right. So how about Holder? What is he doing?
I'm still chanting. I have to chant to maintain it, right? So
Okay.
Well, I think it lasts as long as you were chanting when you stop. Right? If I remember.
well, it takes 10 minutes for the spell to even activate, and
Yeah,
it just
so
activated. So
you're going to be
Yeah.
chanting for a long time.
Yeah.
yeah, I plan to. Like that's
Hey, how are you? Hey, how are you? Okay. So chanting,
depends on
magic
who you
missile,
ask.
magic missile, melee, moving forward to melee. Let's roll initiative, and I think we've come. Tim, it's your
We're
turn, actually. Yeah.
5.
5.
Beat that.
Woo! I did not. All right, gents. So party will go first. Let's go ahead and chop them up. Dooms.
I thought it was Don Drexel. Apologies. That's
for the
That
spell.
is absolutely a hit.
All right.
oh right, spell.
Yeah, we're doing the magic missile. So,
Yeah.
11.
Oh, a telling blow. Yeah, it did not like that. So unleash a cloud of magic missiles upon it, if you would, Don Drexel.
okay. Let's see. I'm just determining whether I have 3 or 4. I think I still have 3, even though I'm 7 for every 2 levels. So 2, 3. Nope, it is 4. Okay. Where is my? There it is.
Look at my
Okay.
size on screen compared to the dungeon. I could just step in there. I could just step in there.
It has 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage. You blow it right away.
Kaboom, Misky.
Yes.
I suspected that web wouldn't help.
No, that spell never helps against spiders and some other types of creatures too, but I'm not telling. That would be telling. All right. So you have dealt with the spiders. Way to go, guys. Nobody took any damage. Nobody got poisoned. There was that panicky moment of, did anybody memorize enough neutralized poisons to get us out of the dungeon?
You think I memorized neutralize poison at all? You're funny.
I
I get
meant-
1 4th level spell.
And it ain't that one.
Nope.
All right, so you have destroyed them. There is the corpse in the web bundle. It's a shriveled husk. It has a strange grimace on its face and its hand on its chin. Also has a pouch on its waist.
I'm gonna search for traps just in case.
Alrighty.
This is a Moldvay module, right? So
I think this is Harold Johnson and Tom Moldvay. So yeah.
okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
even as a
come on.
dungeon master, dude, we both came up together. I got to say, you're not wrong for being suspicious. You do not detect any traps.
Okay, I'm gonna say it's safe then, and try to. Well, first try to figure out. I'll hand the bag off,
Okay.
and I'll see if I can figure out what's going on with his face and hand.
Okay. You can see through his cracked lips. There's a faint glint of gold in his mouth.
I'm betting it's a ring of some type. I will see if I can extract whatever it is.
Easily. It is a plain golden ring, of fine, delicate construction, rich in its color, in its firmness and roundness.
Okay. I'll look and see if I see any inscriptions on it.
Perhaps the name of the owner, Jostins. No, I'm kidding.
It's my class ring. Yeah.
It's one of those old treasures never seen in decades. Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl rings.
Oh, I think those are just a myth anyway. I don't think they really exist. But
I was alive in the 80s. They're real.
yeah, they are real.
I've seen them.
So when I was a little kid, I thought it was the neatest thing in the world. But looking back as an adult, it would have been as boring as hell to watch the Super Bowl between like 78 and 81 when it was Steelers, Cowboys, Steelers, Cowboys, Steelers, Cowboys.
Yep.
Well, now it's Kansas City and somebody. Kansas City
yeah.
and somebody. Kansas City.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're picking the winners, does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. When it's just kayfabe at that juncture. But yes. So you have the ring. The pouch weighs about a pound. It is full of coins. If the sound of it is to go by.
All right. Well, I will. There's nothing I can do with this ring. So, I do have. I think I do have detect magic, but maybe we should wait. Although rings, they're pretty useful. No, I do not have detect magic memorized. So
I do if needed, but we can always save it because.
yeah, because
Does
it's
John
a.
Drexel's sword detect magic?
Yes, it
I
does.
thought we had something.
Oh, does
Yeah.
it?
Detected
I,
magic.
it's.
Yeah.
I thought it was alignment. Let me read my sheet because your memory.
I
is
thought
better
it
than
was
mine.
could
detect
be
magic.
totally wrong.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, because I don't. Yeah, that's why I stopped preparing. Yeah, okay. I still have it like listed to be prepared on my list. I should take that off.
That's probably the same reason why I'm not remembering it. It detects good or evil at 10-foot radius and it's lawful good. That's what I have listed.
Okay. Then no, it doesn't detect magic
Okay.
unless the magic is good or evil.
So,
I see
well,
good
I mean,
spirits and bad spirits.
detect magic's it's a bulk thing, right? So we should
Yes.
wait until we have more stuff.
Yeah, we should wait. I want to keep chanting.
Alrighty. So you have the ring, you have the pouch that has some coins in it. Nothing else is in the manifold webs that are hanging down from the ceiling here. You have a door on the right immediately, and then a little further down, another door. So what to do? I will put it up on camera if you guys need to see it. By the way, for the audience sake, the question has come up before of, well, what do you do if the party wants to leave the area with Dwarven Forge? Do you quickly try and build something? If it's a simple room that I can throw together, I might try to do it. However, on a live stream, probably not. And at that point, we just go narrative. We just go back to theater of the mind. The Dwarven Forge is there to look really cool and to judge by y'all's reactions and likes and comments and so forth. y'all think it's pretty cool. So so we keep doing it, but there is no, oh, wall of force stops you from going into that part of the map because I haven't built it up yet. Nothing like that. We just switch over to narrative, and then the next week, wherever the party has made it to, I will hopefully have been able to get up some Dwarven Forge then. So, door to the right.
Yeah, I'll listen and see if I can hear anything there. It's closed, right? So.
Yes, it is closed. And as far as hearing anything, you know, it happens so infrequently that I am shocked in an AD&D module, regardless of author, whether it was Gary, Harold Johnson, Tom Moldvay, Al Hammock, anybody, if they had a door in a dungeon that was open, like you pass by the door, it's open.
It's ajar.
I like leaving doors ajar.
It's 30% my check. So.
Okay, you do not hear anything.
All right. Does it appear to be locked?
No, it seems like your standard dungeon door with pull ring, swollen from the moisture, very firmly closed in its frame. So, you know, D6 roll.
Oh, well, I'm going to stand back and let the guys that know what they're doing do it.
All right.
I'll ask Paul and Durek, maybe this is where you guys jump in. Paul?
Shall I, Durek?
Yes, Paul. By all means. Have you identified which side the hinges are on?
The door appears to open out into the hallway, so I presume that they're on this side. Yes, there they are. Hinge pins.
Very well. And then there are tactical decisions that must be made. If you open the door, then you will be behind the door as we rush in or whatever comes out toward us.
He grabs the ring, pulls it till he can get his hands in, and then just shoves it the rest of the way open. He's in front of it. Or he's looking straight into the room. All right. So he did not, in fact, move out of the way. Give me a moment, and I will show you guys what you see.
We see nothing. I
see
know
nothing.
nothing. I know nothing. I see nothing. I can't decide if I should do that in the Sergeant Schultz voice or if the little guy from Faulty Towers. Both pretty funny. It looks like another freaking spider, man.
That's okay. They at least get a penalty for my chanting. I think it can affect even like spiders and stuff. It's just like any enemy, so. I'm aiming for the small victories.
Thanks as always for your patience, everyone. Looking into this room, as Paul has wrenched the door open, the room is filled with chests, bundles, and crates of various trade goods. And it appears to be deserted. So there are boxes and crates and all sorts of things in this chamber.
Oh, I think we got to open a box.
What's in the box?
Open.
Oh, and we have another view of that if you guys would like a slightly different perspective on the room. That is what it looks like from out in the hall. And whoops, that one is not working. That camera view is from ours. Now it's working. Now it snaps to. It just took a minute to catch up. But anyway, there you go. So, Tim, is Elminar going to go in the room and open a box?
I believe I have to do that.
All right. You step in the room. There's quite a few tea chests and shipping crates, bags, barrels, that sort of thing. And as you're rummaging around looking for one, from the far northern corner of the room, there is a hissing sound. Sss. Sss.
So, does anybody have a spell called Snakes to Sticks?
Doesn't
work in reverse.
I can sticks to. Yeah, sadly, no. I usually keep snake charm prepared. Believe it or not, I'm one of those kind of crazy people that does that. I didn't have it prepared today because I joined the session late and chose silence instead. So sorry, guys.
All right. Well, let's try to slowly back out of the room.
Okay. As you back out of the room, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, let's. I ain't nowhere in there, Tim.
I'm, kind of squishy.
We closed the door with Elminar in it.
There you go.
So I kind of want to not be squished.
Squish you? They'd never squish you, only bite you a half dozen times.
That's the other problem is I'm not wearing a tin can to avoid that.
You must wear the power of Fultus. Accept the full armor of Fultus, Tim. You know you wish to.
Wave of Mutilation. I actually don't have Fireball. I have Lightning Bolt, which has the same problem of bouncing back at you if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And in that size room, I'd pretty much be committing suicide.
Yeah, it would pretty much be bouncing for the rest of the session. It would kill future characters Tim created.
Well, good news. You would effectively get, it's I don't know, less likely to hit you. Shrug.
Ah.
All right, so Elminar, you leave the room behind. Whatever the hissing is, it subsides as you step back out in the hall. Paul quips as you step out. Did you accidentally poke something with your dagger, Elminar? It sounded like the room was leaking.
You're welcome to go check it out if you'd like.
All right. Paul walks into the room full of bravado. Anybody else going in there with him?
No, I'm going to watch the intern get killed.
Okay. How about Durek?
I mean, I suppose I'll caution him to not go in there. But if he wants to do that, that's, of his volition.
All right. And I'm guessing Don Drexel is not intervening.
No. I mean, snakes are great over there.
All right.
Totally not cool when they're nearby. So.
Okay. So yeah, you guys hear some clattering and sounds of stuff being moved around. And after a few moments, you hear Paul shout, "Die! Die!" and a clanging and a battering sound.
Well, hell, now I'm gonna feel guilty. I guess I'll go in there and assist.
All right. You walk in the room, and he's sitting on one of the crates and scraping the sole of his boot on another one of the crates. They were roaches, big ones too, about that long.
Oh. Well,
Nothing else is
Yeah,
hissing in the room.
that's much better than snakes.
Hey
It beats the
guys,
alternative.
I hate to jump out early, but one of you guys can run me. I gotta go. This is actually an emergency. I gotta go deal with. So try not to get me killed.
Whatever it is, Tim, I hope it works out for the best. Take care, brother. Thank you for gaming tonight. All right. So, yeah, Paul has apparently crushed 2 hissing cockroaches in the room that were making the sound.
Cool. Different hissing than snakes.
Different hissing than snakes. Yes. So, yeah, he looks around. That none of you are artisans or dilettantes, so it's a little hard to tell. But if you had to wager a guess, maybe once upon a time, this stockade was a better appointed place, because packed in straw, there are articles of fine china and glassware and so on. Not the rough stuff that men of a fortress might use. So this could be trade goods. It could be items that were once part of the sideboard, as it were, for whoever was in command here. But that time is long past, although the stuff is in good shape. So
Well, then,
what?
Paul, it seems that you have things under control.
Well, perhaps it was a
Do you
bit
believe
rash
it's
of me
safe?
to rush in, but just 2 insects.
This is your life, and it could be taken in one of 2 ways. It could be taken either as faith. Your faith was so strong that you ran in and conquered whatever lay before you, or it could be a lack of faith. But regardless, is it safe?
Oh, it's perfectly safe, unless you're a hissing cockroach.
Indeed. And that I am not. Well, man.
All right. Go ahead, Dims.
That was it. Well, man.
Okay.
With a hand gesture.
He takes your hand and rights himself, pulls himself up from his sitting position. It all looks fairly valuable.
Guide.
Oh.
I apologize. I was trying to guide the
Okay.
The
Knife hand, not helping hand. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
well, man, here you are.
Slide my smiling face out of the way there. Just before a turn at the end of the hallway, you guys have got another door here.
All right, I will listen at the door.
All right.
Word. I don't relish the thought of trying to bring all of that out of here, though. Because, I mean, it'd take one stumble, one trip, and there goes a box of fine china.
That good holder is for when we slay the lot of them and can have some stalwart porters and bearers bring those items out under better repair. Let's see.
I'll never forget that time I gave my players 3,000 gold pieces in glass tables and fine china as their reward for beating the dungeon.
If I'm not mistaken, Paul Stormberg told me that the Robilar plundered the Temple of Elemental Evil, but he did it in a rather unique way. He took every suit of armor, every weapon, everything that wasn't bolted down, he would just quietly carry out using invisibility and silence. Slowly, a little bit of the time, he denuded it of ordinary items and made Gary add it all up. It was like 27,000 gold worth arms and weapons in the temple that he was able to sell. All right, so you do not hear anything.
Okay, I'll step aside as usual and say I think nothing is in there, but I may be wrong. Couldn't hear anything.
Alrighty.
Well then, what are we waiting for?
Okay, who's opening the door?
Paul, have that.
All right.
We know that you are no stronger than me in faith. You may be stronger in body, but faith, I say not. You will get there, however.
Well, they say faith can move mountains, but sometimes just a little bit of elbow grease can do it as well. He wrenches the door open. This time, he stays behind it. The room appears to be another storeroom. There's piles of trade goods. They're covered with dust, and they don't appear to have been touched for some time. As you look, Durek, there's a hair-raising moan and the clanking of chains from the northeast corner of the room. There, a luminescent shape begins to form the figure of a wasted elf struggling with ghostly chains that hold him to the wall. As you watch, the figure breaks its chains and comes rushing forward. So let's see. Let me get a better camera view, guys. Hang on just a moment.
Oh no.
Sounds like it's time for Turn Undead. Or do we think it's another fake out?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe this one's covered in powdered sugar or something.
I'm guessing fake real.
Yeah.
That's my game here, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm checking the rules for chant right now to see if it continues to last, because it could just last as soon. It could just end like the minute after the chanting's done as well. Let me see.
I didn't want to interrupt either. Were you saying earlier that it was that it took 10 minutes to take effect and had that 10 minutes pass?
So casting time is 1 turn. By means of the chant, the cleric brings into being a special favor. Yeah, I started the chant like a while ago. Upon himself or herself in the party. Once the chant is completed, all attacks, damage, saving throws are made in the area at +1. The cleric's enemies suffer a -1. The bonus stroke penalty continues as long as the cleric continues to chant the mystic syllables. An interruption, however, such as an attack which succeeds and causes damage, grappling the carrier, or magical silence, breaks the spell. And so to me, I've always taken chant as ending as soon as the chanting ends, right? There's no it continues for the rest of the round, but then that's it.
Sure. The thing that I was most curious about is when it ended up taking effect, because I don't know that it's taken effect. I haven't modified the DM dice with regard to that.
The DM was kind enough to let it take effect before the spider encounter. He said that there was the magical field over all of us, and that's when it finally took effect. So it was before the spider encounter.
Gotcha.
Yep. So, and I've had it going this whole time, which is why I haven't done anything else.
Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Durek, this is what you espy in the room. The ghostly figure tears its chains, and it seems to run towards you. Give me a save versus spells, please, Durek. It is going to be even because of your paladin abilities. Any rings, anything like that. The chanting is also helping.
Right. So what does the chant give me?
+1.
Right. And then is this thing evil?
You don't really detect any sense of evil, but it is magical. So
Right. Because the
spiritual,
paladin
that
gets
sort of thing. Yeah.
a bonus to saving throws against evil
Right.
creatures, which is why I was asking. I
Right.
don't
But
know
your
if it's
standard
still or
save is +2. So
not. Yeah.
alrighty.
All right, and this is spell.
Yes.
And +1 from the chant, correct?
Correct.
It's a miss
That
regardless.
will fail. Yes, this ghostly apparition, you realize this could be a ghost, this could be a wraith, this could be something, but whatever it is, your God has given you the wisdom to get the hell out of there as fast as you can. You are under the effects of fear.
Right on.
And let's see, that is as the spell. If anyone knows what the effects are to fear, if you want to let me know, that would be awesome.
Isn't it something like flee and terror for X number of rounds or whatever?
It is. It is basically you're going to be, let's see, fear. I can just do a quick search of the PDF.
If that is a ghost, I only have a 5% chance of turning it.
Yeah, I'd be toast if it was the ghost.
Yeah, it does not. All right, so let's see. Area of effect duration. Affected creatures are likely to drop whatever they're holding. Each base chance is 60% versus only 15% chance. Go ahead and roll percentile dice to see if you drop your sword, Derek.
Yes, sir.
No.
Zero.
You do not. You have a death grip on that sword as you
Excellent.
run out of the room. You flee at your fastest rate for number of rounds equal to the experience of the spellcaster. So we'll have to see,
Got
and
it.
we will treat this. We'll see how we treat this.
You could put in the rules, but one of the worst rules in the UA was that paladins are a subclass of cavalier, so he'd be immune
Right.
to fear, right?
I'm just
But-
pretending to be a subclass of cavalier nowadays.
Uh,
Just because.
I never did like that.
yeah.
Get it. I totally get it, but I don't like it. So
Fun question.
Mhm.
Can a cleric, if I cast silence on a banshee, would it shut them up?
The scream of a banshee is
Because it's sound based.
it is, but it is a more than supernatural thing. I would almost treat that as like a versus dispel magic. Like we would compare your hit dice to the or your level to the banshee's hit dice and proceed from there.
yeah, kind of like
Um,
with darkness and light.
Yeah, something
Magical
like that.
darkness, magical light. Yeah.
All right, so we're going to treat this as a round of fear. So you're going to move at maximum speed for a round. So that's 90 feet. You're just looking to get away from it. So you burst out of the room. The way the door opens out into the hall, you don't see your companions. It already got them. So
Right on.
it's north and then a hard right, and you're pounding. I don't know if Durek says anything during this, but the rest of you guys hear just the heavy footfalls of someone running away in armor, which is quite noisy, I might add.
Yeah, and I don't imagine that he'd say anything if something has the ability to put him into fear, given his awesomeness. Then, he's certainly not capable of speech.
So
All
he
right.
ran through the room? Or
No, Durek ran back out of the room, and
okay, so he ran past us.
no,
okay.
he did not run past you. He ran the other direction because if you look on screen, let me see if I
Oh,
can.
he came out the door and the door was in the way, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so he's
Okay.
basically coming this way.
Okay.
Okay. Now I need to check something because all of that noise has alerted something. All right. So as Durek rounds the corner and goes clanking forward, this damned haunted place, you're not gonna die here. Oh, nice. Okay, so Dirk, as you go bounding around the corner, you see the form of a giant wolf. You don't know if it's real or spectral, but it sees you, and it is sniffing the air. It lowers and growls, and it's running straight at you as you run down the hall. The rest of you guys, what are you doing at having heard someone fleeing from the room? No words were said. What is Holder doing? Still chanting? You're muted, by the way, DK.
Sorry, I'm chanting. If this is a ghost or something, I don't have a prayer, frankly. I'll happily retreat with the rest of the party.
But we
But-
don't even know what it is. We haven't been in there, right?
Yeah.
We just know he ran.
I know.
Or what's going on with me around the corner.
Because, like,
Correct.
my spell offers a bonus to saving throws. So, whatever this is, it makes the most sense for me to keep that up and going. Because the moment I stop, it's over. So, I'm just going to keep it up. But I'll happily back
Okay.
off to where Durek is.
Paul is slamming the door and heading around the corner after Durek.
I agree. I'll follow Paul.
Alrighty.
Did he see anything? Did he say anything, or is he just going that way?
He just went that way.
Okay.
Clenched teeth, you know what I mean? Does too much. Otherwise, I must be some kind of wuss.
Wave of mutilation. The house.
Well, no. I mean, did Paul say anything before he chased on?
No, his eyes just get big, and he's like he's Durek and pushes the door out of his way and goes in that direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow. Then,
Okay,
for sure.
all right. Elminar turns to look at Holder and goes, "Oh, right," and just kind of and goes in that direction also. Wave of mutilation. Watched The Howling last night. It still stacks up. The Howling is great. The Howling 2 is great for completely different reasons. And The Howling 3, just forget about it. Whichever was the one with Christopher Lee has two good things in it. All right, so quick camera rearrangement. Bear with me just a moment, guys.
Like, if it's just a specter, I could turn it, but once again, the chanting stops. If it's a wraith, I definitely could. But I don't think this is a wraith. It doesn't really Like,
Well, we don't want to split the party anyway, right?
yeah,
So I think we'll just come back. We'll come back. I think it's a bad idea to go in there. The last thing we need is to have somebody else run off a different way.
yeah, right.
Now we're uber dicked.
Yeah, no, I agree. I absolutely agree. Yeah, really,
I don't
the
know what
best
causes
thing.
fear. I think ghosts cause fear, but
I'm I'm almost positive ghosts do. Like they have that stare ability where it's just like
They do, but they also do 1d4 times 10 aging,
Age.
right?
aging.
So
Correct.
10 to 40
Yes.
years. Okay.
Yep.
And they're one of the most
Yep.
horrifying. Yeah, I mean, probably the most. Level drain sucks, right? But aging 40 years for your character, dang,
For a
you're coming
human?
back from that.
that's catastrophic.
For a
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
yeah, for a human, it's awful. There are
Right.
potions of youth, right, to counter that, but they only
Well, and
restore. I think
restoration,
it's like D10 years.
Yeah, longevity.
Yeah.
I think has the side effect of counteracting some of that, but
Yeah.
nah, that's a death sentence right there. Levels
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
get
I
back.
agree. Yeah, I don't.
You go from young adult to venerable in one encounter.
Yeah,
Right?
Yep.
Exactly. All the ability score modifiers, all that, but
Yeah,
you're
minus
also
2 strength, minus 2 con, plus 1
Yep.
wisdom.
yeah,
Yep.
right,
Yeah.
right, which like totally sucks if you're like some sort of
If you're
fighter
not
or
a cleric,
something like
it's
that.
about
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, if you're a magic user, it's not too bad. But
Yeah, but it's still at the same point. What's
oh yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, no, I was checking my turn undead tables here, and it's like Ghost is 20, Vampire 16, Spectre's 13, right? So I'd have a good chance there. It's not a wraith.
Okay.
By all means, go up in there and see.
No way in hell, Dooms. I've lost too many characters. No way. In hell.
Wolf is
It'd just
bounding
be
down
a
the
couple
hall.
of giant weasels, bro.
Yeah,
Wolf
right.
is bounding down the hall towards you. Dooms, you are running like mad to get the hell away from this thing. Are you just going to try and leap past the wolf? What are you doing?
Well, assuming I can't do anything, I mean, I don't know if it's the type of situation where it breaks the fear, but it don't matter to me. This is either the Hound of Tendalos or the Green Manalishi with the 2-pronged crown. So,
Well, the thing with fear, and this is my DM's interpretation of it, is it's kind of like if you turn undead and then try and block them from getting away from you. They're terrified, even if they're mindless, of your holy power, and they will fight to get past you. That's kind of what's happened. You've basically been turned, and this thing in front of you is between you and safety. Ergo, it's got to go. Whatever might be coming for you might get you, but it's not going to be because you didn't try and get away from it. So
that's the way I look at it. I cut it down as the natural instinct.
Alrighty, so you're going to try and cut it down.
I'm some sort of leaper. Yeah.
That adrenaline rush wave, yeah, I think they do. There's been many documented cases of people performing thought impossible feats of athletic prowess when under the effects of fear. If you've seen the World War I film 1914 with a courier who runs just an ungodly distance, that's based on a true story. I mean, anyway,
my favorite is one where a mother deadlifts an engine block to get it off her kid.
Yeah, that's like I said, fear, danger, that sort of thing are powerful motivators. And speaking of which, Paul, well, no, you don't know if it's Paul. You just hear like clanking and yelling behind you, chanting behind you. So you're going to attack the wolf. The wolf's going to attack you. Let's roll initiative and try and get in one more combat before we wrap for the evening. Dooms, I know what you're going to do. I know what it's going to do. Roll a d6, please. You will go first in your Berserk Fury. Or your Berserk Fury, which I don't know if that even means anything. 7.
Berserker.
8. You're not really charging it. Actually, I'm going to say you did charge it. So yeah, that's a 8, 9, 10. That we determined that hits armor class 5 for you, correct?
6, sir.
Armor class 6. So that hits.
Oh, all right.
It is not a large creature. It's not like a dire wolf or anything.
Yes, sir.
5
points.
You inflict some damage, and it tries to snap its jaws shut on your sword arm as you swing down on it. 14. That it clamps onto your greave, but it doesn't get through. You know, it's armor. So let's you're still fighting it. It's fighting you. Paul is fighting alongside you. At this point, next to you is Don Drexel. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, and D and disability. Thank Kyle. Roll initiative, please.
Okie dokie.
I got a
Will
5.
do. I can't beat that, I don't think, but we'll see.
You
I
did.
did.
All right, Dooms, make an attack.
Yes, sir. Nice roll. All righty.
Kevin, how are you going to do it if you really don't want to dance? By standing on the wall. That is going to hit. Roll some
Yes, sir.
damage. I heard
That was
all
that
the
guy.
people say.
7.
All right, with the damage you've done, you hew it down, and that rush of insane panic passes.
Excellent.
You feel that chill of fear leaves you.
What the hell happened, Dirk? He just ran off.
Paul
Paul.
looks at Don Drexel and says, obviously he knew there was a threat in the room that was too great even for our arms combined, and left to lead us to at least safer challenges. And he says that there is not a hint of sarcasm, nastiness, or joking. He says that very affirmatively and sternly.
And you're too kind, Paul. I must be honest. This place is the heart of evil.
Well, then we'll cut it out.
Sure,
my
I
friend.
push. And I push. But there's a reason for that.
Well, let's drive our spear in a little bit further. He points down the hall, and that is where we will depart, unless anyone has any role play they'd like to do for the moment.
Nope, I'm going to maintain my chant, I guess. I'll make a note for that for next time.
All righty. I want to thank all my players for being here tonight. Tim, if you're watching this in the post, I hope whatever it was got sorted out, my friend. Thank you to the audience. Big shout out to Gonzalo Lira's bar tab for contributing a little bit to help keep the lights on. I really appreciate the tenor, my friend. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we may start a deep dive on Temple of Elemental Evil. I don't know that I want to spoil it too terribly much, but we shall certainly see about that. But until then, whether it's a Temple of Elemental Evil, Keep on the Borderlands, or just a wandering encounter, keep your eyes peeled for the dreaded owl bears. Peace. Good night. Love you all.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.